Beautiful day to you, lovely viewers out there. Welcome to the Lifestyle Show here on New World TV, where we bring you best discussions on entertainment, lifestyle, and whatever it is you are interested in knowing. Of course, when it has to do with lifestyle. So you guys are welcome to the Lifestyle Show once again. I remain your girl, EJ, the host for the show. You're welcome once again. Today's topic is actually a very interesting one. Of course, the topic is always very interesting. Okay? So today we'll be talking about why do people seek greener pastures abroad, or why do people travel out, okay, seeking greener pastures abroad. And with me in the studio today are two very beautiful people that are going to be helping me talk about it. So we'll begin with introducing the lady. We have Promzi. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
It's so good to have you here.
Nice to have you too.
Are you excited to be here?
Very, very excited.
Okay, it's good to have you once again.
Okay.
And then we have Mr. Moise.
Yeah, of course.
Mr. Moise, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
It's nice to have you here.
Thank you very
Mr.
much.
Moise is a conference interpreter and
translator.
A translator, of course.
Yeah.
It's nice to have you. And I forgot to add, Promzi is an actor. Yes, you guys are welcome. It's good to have you both here. Thank you very much for joining me or joining us at the studio today to talk about this. So guys, a lot has been happening, okay?
Yeah.
People are moving, people are migrating, people are running. That's the word. I want to use running because at this very stage, it's no longer they are giant pa. Everybody is giant pa right now. So I want to understand what's happening. Are we burning in this side of the world, or there's something happening there that I don't know? So why are people seeking greener pastures? First of all, let's begin with understanding what greener pastures is. So I'll begin with you, Promzi. What do you understand by greener pastures?
Okay, thanks for that. When you come to me, I will tell greener pasture should be an environment where one is comfortable, supportive, and would help one get to that potential which he or she is looking for.
Okay.
So when you're at a place and you're not getting all this, I just mentioned now, you should look for a better place. I'll give you all these things.
Okay.
So that's greener pasture to me.
That's greener pastures to you. So how about you, Ms. Moise?
All right. Me, I would define greener pasture as a form of El Dorado, like a golden city in people's mind, where they think that they can have a better life condition and they can easily achieve their goals. Okay. In their mind, first of all, that's why I'm putting the accent, because, you know, everything depends on your mentality.
Right.
Whatever you are, you can still produce something. So it's all about your mindset. So it's something that people have already in their mind. Everybody define his greener pasture in his mind.
In his own mind.
Yeah.
All right. So now let's dive right in. So what is wrong with Africa? I want to know. Is there a problem here? First of all, do we have a problem? Do we have financial problem?
Yes. Africa, I would say, does not really have a problem.
Right.
But the people in Africa have the problem.
Okay. Do you agree with this?
Not totally, because what is happening in Africa is almost happening everywhere, just at different degrees, if you can say. You know, there is poverty in Africa, there is poverty in Europe.
Right.
There is joblessness in Africa, there is joblessness in Europe.
Okay.
So almost everything that is happening to Africa is happening everywhere, but just at different degrees. So
I think she actually agreed with that. She said the people.
Yeah, but the issue is I'm putting more emphasis on the mind. The mentality, because first of all, people have a myth about the Western world.
Right.
You know, people think that, you know, in the Western world, we are living like paradise.
Right.
Everything like heaven on earth. There is no problem there. People think that there's no problem in Europe, no problem in America and all this stuff. But you'll be shocked to know that there are poor people in America.
Yes.
That there are jobless people in Europe. There are people in Africa that are living in better condition than are people in Europe. So it's a global phenomenon. So we cannot just feature in Africa saying that Africa is a special case. We have problems everywhere, but just at different degrees, let's say at different forms. So
let's say the countries that are economically not developed try to move, or they shift themselves to a more developed country, hoping to get something standard. Yeah. Now, we in Africa, I'm going to be a bit specific, because we are the one running more. Yes, we are more like the people running more. Okay, so now the question is it that we are overly ambitious or we are too impatient? Okay, yes, let me begin with you. Is it that we are, so the reason we are running, I'm using okay, I've explained why I'm using running. The reason we are running, is it that we are too overly ambitious or we are just impatient?
I really don't know escaping. That should be the word. I'm trying to escape from. Now, I would say it's the two. Impatient and being over ambitious.
Right.
That's it. Now, impatient in the sense that you are working, you have something doing.
Right.
You just began today, then you want the next day. And God, that mighty
money,
rich man, they'll be hearing your voice everywhere. But no, Rome was a bit in a day. You need to work constantly to get to that very point.
Right.
Now, what is the of ambitious being there? That we feel like in Africa, when you work in Africa, I feel like it's our currency is very low. That one. So when we get over there, then I could work for 3 hours, and what I'll make in a month over here, within 3 hours, I would cover it up. Without minding what is the working environment like. That's number one.
Okay.
You didn't ask that.
Okay.
They didn't even ask yourself, what is certainty when I get here, I would get what I'm looking for.
Right.
That's two. And they didn't ask questions very well, where I'm going to. Is it as it's been pictured in my head, or it's something else? The truth is this, I can't be in hellfire and I'll tell you I'm in hellfire. No. I'll tell you come to heaven. That's the truth.
Right.
I'll tell you come to heaven.
Right.
Then when I get there, you know, have vocabulary. You know, tell me now. That's how you see him.
Right.
Sorry for using that word.
No, go.
You know, tell me now.
Right.
That's how we see him. So that is what Africans really have as a problem. Impatient. One. And they are doing it. I want to do. But you didn't ask, how did they get there? That's the question.
What exactly are they
doing to get there? I don't know if I could bring this thing about the impatient thing.
Yeah.
Just like sometime last 2 years, about if you heard about the Betty Butter something Dubai case.
Okay.
You know, girls going out there, taking physics, sleeping with dogs and every other thing, making money.
Okay.
So when you say girl who had traveled out there, sorry, I'm not saying everybody is doing it.
Right.
But
some of them.
Most people, let's be honest,
Okay.
are just doing that. Because you could see someone who is not educated, you don't speak good English, good French, you just travel out, then within 6 months, you're back with huge amount of money. You are made.
How did that come from? How did that come about? Yeah.
So now what happened? It was a girl that came back. This actually happened in Lagos. When she came back, you know, they had an agreement. I will take you to Dubai. You make the money. I have 40% of the money.
Right.
They did ask your friend, which work are we going to do there?
She just zoom.
You just, because they said this is the money, you know, and it's in dollars, not dirham, they pay in dollars.
Right.
So convert dollars to your own local currency, you know now. Everywhere, money don't fool everywhere.
Yeah.
Then when they got there, they met this certain Arab man that went there, 7 of them on a particular girl. After that, these guys had to bring out
7 guys on a particular
girl.
Oh, okay.
Now after that, they had now took this girl to a toilet,
Right.
bring out physics, let her eat. That was where she was like, what?
Oh my God.
And do you know that scenario?
Right.
She was like, I wasn't told this. Then what did they tell you? That was the question. What did they tell you?
Do you understand?
Do you get her point now?
Do you understand?
So, after all said and done, she now had issues with the girl. So they came down to Nigeria. Then there was problem. Then that was how the whole
Things
issue.
started.
And the girl was like, when I say when we go, let me just use the word she used. When I say when we go Dubai, Lampage Dubai. Do you get that? As in, it's the way for my father that I promised you a job and you followed me blindly with that accent. So looking at this scenario now, would you blame the taker or the runner for that situation?
Do you agree with everything she has said?
Yeah, I perfectly agree. I think we are here, first of all, to raise an awareness. And my aim is to change people's mentality. We are putting more emphasis on the mind, because everything is in the mind. Because what we have noticed is that many people believe that nothing good can come out of Africa.
Actually,
that's the mentality of many people. So as long as I'm in Africa, I cannot make it. I have to go abroad. I have to run away. So it's like in the Bible where people ask Jesus, can anything good come out of Nazareth? They already have a kind of mentality about Nazareth. Nazareth, no
so
savior.
Nazareth is
Yes. So we need to change that mentality because Africa is a continent like other continents. So every good thing we have in the world, we can find it in Africa. We have billionaires in Africa and we have poor people in Europe. So there is need for us to raise that awareness that Africa is not a cursed land. People have to.
So you think people are overly ambitious or they are too impatient?
I think more overly ambitious because
they want it quick.
Yes, they want it quick. They are not ready to pay the price, to follow the right procedure, to go to the right track, to get into their destination. They think that, just like manna that should fall from heaven for them where they can easily achieve their goals.
But something prompted this overly ambitiousness. There should be a prompting, right? Because I cannot just, coming from a reputable home, okay, with this thing they say charity begins at home, right? Good. So I have a blended home training, but then I grow up being overly being impatient, and overly ambitious about wanting to make currencies or wanting to make naira or wanting to travel out of the country. Something prompted that. Mr. Moise, what do you think sort of spiked up this drive in people today?
First of all, like I said it before, it's the myths behind the Western world. Because what you have seen on social media about the Western world, most of the time they always show us the positive side, the good side. When they are showing us maybe New York, they will never show you their ghettos. They will never show you their dirty side. They only show you the good part, thinking that is heaven on earth.
Even when you're watching movies.
Yes, you're watching movies. There are some places where you go there, you ask yourself, am I in Europe or am I in Lagos somewhere or in Accra somewhere? They always show you the right side, the beautiful cities, the high towers. You just see, wow,
it's been overhyped.
I need to go there. I need to go there. That's first of all the myth behind the Western world. People, they are so ambitious. They say, if like this, I have to go there. Apart from that, we can also talk about the realities in Africa. Let's be frank. We know what Africa is. So I'm not the one that will tell you how life is in Africa.
Life is good.
Life is good. If we can say that life is good.
Life is good,
but
yes.
Just that we have opportunities in Africa. Just that those opportunities are not open to everywhere. Not open to everywhere. They are very, very limited. You need to put in more effort. You need maybe to trust your relationship. There is a lot of efforts required to succeed in Africa, in quotes, rather than on the other side. This is what is prompting people to say, maybe on the other side, maybe even if I'm not educated, I don't have any degree, at least I can do something that will easily get me a job. But here in Africa, it's very difficult. It's very difficult to have access to such opportunities where even if you are not educated, you are not graduate, you can easily find something that will enable you to provide to your means.
Do you agree with everything you said?
To a certain point, yes.
Okay.
I would say in Africa, the opportunities are limited in such a way the poor gets poorer. The rich gets richer.
Right, the rich
now,
get poor.
Let's take it this way. Before I was born, there are some names which I do hear. These are the rich family. Now, I'm here again now. I'm still hearing the same name. I don't know if you get that means.
Yeah.
So, for example,
they remain there.
Let me take it this way. Let's say, for example, Mr. Moise, before I was born, was the richest man. Now, I came to life. I have a child who now heard that Mr. Moise's son is now the richest man. What about Mr. Moise's neighbor? Did you know happen? What about his neighbor? So when you're seeing all these realities, my dear, you didn't want to stay there. You want to move. Maybe you heard something good, as he said earlier on, you want to move out. But if in the case whereby Mr. Moise is rich today, tomorrow Mr. B2 is there, Mr. C2 is there, why would I want to go?
But our parents were, I'm sorry, I'm going to be adding this, yeah? Our grandparents, they weren't just, I don't know, overly excited about, they I know you'd want to sort of counter this by telling me that they were not aware or they never had the opportunity of, hearing the foreign country or something like that. But when it comes to the dealing with money, I think to a large extent, they were very contented. You see them having this very small portion of land. They are married, and you see the girls doing their thing. And so, should we say westernization also has contributed to this in a way?
Not really. I would
because
say,
I'm watching TV. Yes, I'm listening to news. Like he said, there are so many things that are being projected on air these days that, are not true. They keep showing us, the frontage. We don't know what's going on in the backyard. Do you guys think that the visual projection has maybe, in a way...
I would say, in those days, as you said earlier on, if I have a portion of land, I need water from you, I could easily exchange with you. That's better trade. So they didn't see the need of me going out there to look further. But here is a case where you have a portion of land and you need water. The owner of the water will be like, give me your land with my own water. Do you understand? They want to leave you without anything.
That's greed.
That's greed. Now, too, coming down to African parents, pressure from parent and peers to do cause this thing too.
Okay.
You see a parent telling a child of 20 years old, your mates are out there making money.
Okay,
what are you doing?
Have you seen it?
Do you understand? And this child gets back to the house, sits down, calls his body soul to a meeting. They'll be like, I need to do something. Now, this child has no foundation. Now, you as a parent has laid no foundation for this child. This child had no money. And then we just go like, if you go Dubai through Libya, just 10 hours journey. In your mind, wow, just 10 hours.
10 hours.
Do you understand?
Imagination.
Just 10 hours. Then what funny thing is they'll bring paper, will draw the map, how easy it is for you to go.
We are having
and this child now that you've told this thing now would now say, since I'm not making it here, let me jack.
Damn.
That child will jack back. Do you see it? No, parents
also have, and then peer pressure.
So these two things. Now after this, you now bring human insatiable wants. We want the more. You get 10,000 today, tomorrow you want 20,000. So just imagine somebody is working and they're paying you 100,000 CFA every month, and someone tells you, you just come, let's go and work somewhere 5 hours. You get 100,000 CFA for 5 hours. Then you just sit down. You calculate 5 hours.
You buy 5 land.
Do you understand?
5 acres.
By 24 hours, you just calculate.
You want to?
I will make it.
So
now you didn't ask the person. Now this is now you living certainty for uncertainty. That's what I say, because here you are certain.
Yes.
Of what is going to happen.
Right.
But you know, like, okay, because you've heard that 100,000 within 5 hours, you don't care. Then you just go to your account, close down your account, then start the journey.
So, guys, what are some extents people go to, this to getting or achieving these greener pastures in quote? What are some extents? Let's begin with Mr. Maurice.
People today are so desperate to move abroad. Because basically, naturally speaking, there is that desire in every human being. When you stay at one place for a long time, there is that desire to change a little bit environment, to discover new things. So naturally speaking, human beings are not created to be stagnated at one point too much. Because the more you are stagnated at one point, the less you learn. You need to at least move around a little bit to learn from other cultures, to learn from how other people think. So it's a natural desire in every human being. But at least if you want to do it the right way.
The right way.
Do it the proper way.
Are there other means people have taken for this?
Do it the right way, do it the proper way. People are ready to sacrifice their life. I mean, their life.
Seriously.
Just for travel.
Their life just for traveling. You see people going through Libya to the desert. I'm working currently with an NGO, right. AACC, All of Africa Conference of Churches.
Right.
And last time we were doing a webinar, a Zoom meeting with them, and we had a testimony of what people were going through. There was a man that was traveling with his pregnant wife.
Right.
So along the journey, the wife needed to deliver, to put to bed.
Okay.
So the wife put to bed in the midst of the desert.
Right.
So there was no medical care, nothing to take care of the woman. The woman was bleeding till she died.
Okay.
That's number one. Along the same journey, another man just hit his foot against a stone, broke his head. He was bleeding, but he was still carrying on the journey. people were just looking at him normally. People don't care. Everybody's there to save his own life. People don't care. The man broke his head, was bleeding so much, and he was walking. After 1 or 2 hours, he just fell down and died.
Hey.
So imagine you watching those things. These are things that will affect you psychologically forever. So people are now thinking that their life no longer matters. You see, the Mediterranean Sea today has become like a cemetery for the Africans. People are dying, thousands of people are dying every week, every year, just because that people think that by all means I have to get there, which is wrong. Not by all means. There are some proper means we need to follow to go
get
through.
there.
Yeah.
How about you?
I agree with all he said. People are just doing things which are necessary just to travel out there. If you can afford going through the proper means, why not make out something from where you are? I always say that. You can make out something from this mic if you're determined to make out something from it. So once you know you don't have the money to go out, my dear, pack your, people go as far as borrowing.
To travel?
Yes.
Togo.
Okay, one happened. This should be barely 3 weeks now. I don't know if you follow this trend on Facebook. The guy whom they borrowed the money from.
Right.
Actually, I'm sorry, I don't believe in mysteries, but I just want to bring it out here.
Okay.
How to go report this guy in a shrine
Oh, wow.
because he came to borrow money to travel abroad. And he said over the past 7 years, both the parents of the guy and the guy that borrowed the money have not heard from this person. And they came to the parents to actually ask for his money.
Yes.
And they were like, when you did this, I was not there with you. So why should you not be asking me to pay for a loan
That you know nothing
someone
about.
else took?
Right.
Do you see that? It's very, very uncalled for. That is how far people can go. People go as far as selling their kidney.
Their
Just-
kidney?
Yes.
For these greener pastures?
Greener pasture. They go as, no, do you know things are happening, but what my pain is people don't learn. That's my pain. Things are happening, but people, you see all this is still yet. Tomorrow you want to, but I'm letting bring this thing out. Greener pasture is not just abroad though.
It's where there's good things
This
happening.
Togo that we are living in is somebody's greener pasture.
Yes.
I've seen girls. Does that I was doing this, what do we call it again? A project on sex trade.
Okay.
So I was opportune. I went to Decon, then I also went to Seven Clash. So I met a girl. Asked me how old this girl was. 14 years old.
Okay.
And I was like, "What are you doing out here?" She said, "Her madam brought her that she come and do house girl job in Togo."
Okay.
So when they got to, there were almost 7 girls, but she was the youngest among them. Then they got down here, then they took everything from them and this, that. I was like, okay, now that you are here, don't you have the opportunity to run out? No, she told me, I no fit to. I don't start my madam, so me say I go find girls who come do my own for me.
What?
That was the girl's word. As in, no, when she said this, no, from my head down to my toe, there was this kind of cold fever that caused me. And I was like, wow. So it really means you enjoyed what happened to you. So you are now feel like you too want to go to Nigeria, get people, bring them down here, do the same thing with you. And I'll ask, why would you first give out your child to an unknown person?
Without knowing.
Do you understand? Why would you to an unknown person? You don't do that. So there are a lot of things happening. It's not just abroad, even in Africa that we are. And another thing too is, I'm sorry, I want to use the word. I blame our government for that too. Do you know most those living abroad, most of their houses, their cars, are on long-term.
Loans.
How do you call it? Loans.
Yes.
I want to buy a house. I don't have money.
You can pick
I
instrumentally.
can just go. This is the house. Okay, you pay in 10 years' time. Then I get a house. The government helps me to pay. Then I now pay the government back.
Standard of living
in
here
bits.
is very bad.
When Africa here is not so.
Yes, actually.
So when such a thing happens, what do you think is going to happen? Okay, now let's take a look at COVID. During the COVID period, those in the Western world were being paid monthly. But because we're not working, if the government were paying them like $100, it was now slashed to $70. Make your research. Because they were not working. And the government had to provide food. When you get to each supermarket, if before you get like 2 tins of milk, you get just one. because they know when you get one, someone else is coming for another one again. You don't go more than that. That was the government's policy. They survived. But in Africa, that we what happened?
Such opportunities are not being provided
because you experienced COVID,
right.
So you could say what your experience was like during that period.
Right.
But they over there didn't feel all that.
So now, final question before we wrap up. Is it actually greener there? Is it actually, Mr. Moise, is it actually, they say it's greener pastures, Abby. So is it actually greener? It could be, like she said, so the greener, somebody's greener pastures could be in Africa, but it could be in abroad, wherever it is. But is it actually greener?
No, it's greener to some extent, because let's be frank, there are some conditions that you can only find in Europe or in abroad. Let's be frank, because let's take, for example, the medical cares. When you are sick, for example, here there are some, when you go to the hospital, they will tell you we cannot treat you because you lack such equipment.
Right.
Or somebody has maybe a particular disease, they will tell you we cannot do surgery here because you don't have the means. Have to take you abroad to conduct that surgery. Or education sector, there are some studies, there are some things you cannot find in Africa.
Right.
You can only find it in Europe or abroad. So to some extent, it's green. But it's all about your perspective. What are you really looking for? What are your goals? What are your objectives? Am I just running away because I think that I cannot make it in Africa? Or am I moving abroad with the aim of maybe acquiring knowledge to come and develop Africa? That's where I think our people should put more accent. Because if all of us are running away from Africa, who will now develop Africa?
And worse, they don't have skills.
Yeah.
The people going safe don't have skills.
So people need to work on that aspect.
So how about you, Kamsi?
Just as Mr. Moise had said already, to an extent it's greener over there, and to an extent it is not, depending on you that is going and where you are going to. There are some Western world which we Africans are 3 times,
Better
10 times better than, I don't want to call names, so do not arrest me. Let me not call names.
Right.
You understand? So I'll advise, before you move, ask questions.
Make research.
Where I'm going to, how is the environment? What can I get there? What are the possibilities when I get there? What I'm going there to do? I will get it. Once you ask these questions, and out of 10, only 3 is positive, I advise stay behind. We can make, just the way it is in Africa now, online, social media now is giving us money now. You can just be in your single room, create something, put it out there. Before you know, 10,000 views, 1 million views, you are making it. You must know, and do you know what is funny? Look at our rich men. How many of the children are just buying? None of them.
Yeah, exactly.
It's either they are going for vacation, or they are going for a tour, or they want to relocate. And that location is, job is there, house is there, everything has been arranged well for them. It's not unlike we. You're going there to go and suffer. Some even, there was a program, I don't know if I shared that program with you.
What program, sir?
Okay, that was not you, someone else. There was a program I watched that was, was it US or UK? People are sleeping in toilets. No, on a very serious, because I came across the video on TikTok and I was interested. Let me know what's really happening. No, they said every week the police will just come to the beach toilet, they should to chase people out. And when they said they don't have, and most of them are Africans. Do you know? Then I was like, how would you leave your comfort zone to go and sleep in toilet in someone's own country? It's absurd now. It's funny. But
it's
they, and
weird.
do you know? And they'll be like, oh, and sorry, I probably like my picking there abroad. Do you know?
Easy Mora in the
my picking there abroad. But then your child, you don't know what is going, what he or she is going through. Okay, one died these 3 weeks now. When he died, the government had to place, if you know him, come and claim the body. If not, we'll burn him. Abroad, they don't do like us. They don't bury they burn most times. Then after nobody came to identify with the body, the government made away with the body. But the parent of this particular man is alive. Why didn't they come to claim the body? Because they cannot take up the financial responsibilities involving in taking care of the corpse.
Guys, okay. So people, we've come to the end of today's show, okay? So I'm going to be taking bit from what Promzi said and bit from what Mr. Mohisa said. See, first of all, he's not green. He has a mixture of color. He's probably red.
Even brown.
Oh, brown. He's not greener pastures, people of God. There is something happening. See, they are projecting the goodness of it.
Yeah.
But we don't know what is happening in the backyard. So, like Promzi said, before you go, have somebody that knows somebody that is probably living in a house or has a place that he or she can call a home. Have somebody that knows what he or she is doing. Be very sure of what you're going there to do. Ask questions. And like Mr. Moise also said, skills is very important. I'm going for greener pastures. I don't have menial job. I don't have to paint nail. I cannot sweep house. And you're going as a slave queen. No, you go suffer. You will suffer so well that when you come back, the description on your body will be telling. But when you come back, my mother will still tell you, my baby is in abroad. Oh, Guinea. Do you understand? So guys, this is what it is for this week. Okay, we've come to the end of today's show. Don't forget to follow the lifestyle playlist on New World TV. Like and subscribe if you haven't. Share, keep sharing, yo. Thank you so very much, Promzi, for joining us. Thank you very much, Mr. Moise, for coming. Thank you guys for joining us this week. Until we come your way next week, stay blessed, stay safe. Plenty love from me to you. Bye bye.